Should be back any second now. There we go. Alright, we should be back in business. I have horrifying screen tearing, but I don't think you guys actually see that at your end on the bright side. It's peculiar, but I think the way it works is that the OBS sort of output actually gets the vertical sync, but the sim itself doesn't. So I get terrible screen tearing, but I don't think you guys have to put up with it. And actually, that is the ideal solution. If I'm going to have to put up with screen tearing, I'd rather it was me dealing with it than you guys. So that's okay. But yeah, just bear in mind, my sim is looking a bit ugh right now because of the screen tearing at my end, but you guys can't see that, luckily. Alright, cool beans. Stone Dogs, thanks for the follow. Anyway, so, route for today. Okay, to begin with, like I said, we're at Boeing Field. We're going to start this thing up. Taxi on down to the runway, which is there. Shortest taxi ever. We'll take off. We'll do some sort of semi-visual circuits. We'll probably shoot the ILS a couple of times, and then after that, I will see if we can just vector ourselves over to Seattle Airport, and we'll land there and park up, and job done. And that'll be our kind of initial test flight, if you like, so I can get used to the thing, see how it flies, that sort of thing. So that should be fun. And then after that, I think we'll cart this thing over to Holland, and we'll do that cargo lux flight I found yesterday. Out of Amsterdam over to Stansted. Really beautifully short flight, even if it is a gigantic aeroplane to do it in. And we might do that, and then maybe a return leg as well. Might even hop on IVAO to do it. And then, at the end of that, I'm thinking maybe, unless we get bored of it and want to fly something else, I might embark on that long haul from Heathrow to San Diego that I've always threatened to do. So yeah. But anyway, I got my chase plane bullshit set up, all that initial stuff. Like I said, I've kind of familiarised myself with the way it works. Honestly, if you've already got some of their products, if you've got their 737 or their their 777, you will feel right at home instantly in this thing. Like everything, all the options menus in the CDUs and stuff work exactly the way it does in their other planes. So if you're familiar with the way those work, you'll get into this and you'll not have any problems at all. So. Boom! Cockpit. Hello. So one thing to note is the frames in here are pretty good, but obviously the whole thing's turned off right now, so none of the systems are running, so it will dip a bit after we turn them on. But overall, the frame rate in this thing so far that I've seen seems to be pretty average for a tube liner sim in prepared. It's, you know, roughly about the same as the 777, the A320, you know, the FS Labs A320 and the NGX. It's basically the same. So depending on what performance you get in those, you will probably get exactly the same in this. Have fun looking at the Flappy Bird wings once it's in the air. Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm aware, I think 747s do have very, very bendy wings. But yeah, and they can look quite funny on departure when you rotate off the runway. Their old 747 was just like that as well, actually. Because I still have that knocking around on my FSX Steam Edition install, which I almost never use, but I do actually have the version 2, I want to say. I don't think it's the original, but I think I have the version 2 of their 747. I mean, you just look at them parked on the ground here. Look how droopy they are. Those are some bendy wings. Anyway. I will ditch the music, be gone, and I'll try and turn up the sim audio a bit before we go, so you can hear it, because it does have some really lovely sounds. And yeah, let's do this. Switch that to auto, and battery switch is already uncovered, which is nice. You can hear it all come online. And the sort of storm lighting will come on as well by itself when you switch it on, with just the battery. So that's all on, so we can go... Let's see. Yeah, that's auto. This is all hunky-dory. I'm just trying to remember how to get one of these CDs up and running. Here we go, right. We can go to FS Actions, Ground Connections, Ground Power Request. And there we go. Beautiful. So you can hear it making all its sort of startup beeping noises. I want to get some panel lights on here, really. It's very dark, this cockpit. I think part of that is because it's quite late in the day. It's sort of reasonably not that bright outside, but yeah, not the brightest cockpit in the world. This. You can turn on the panel lighting, but it doesn't seem to really make much of a difference during the day. It has to be said. Panel aisle lighting. There we go. Although I think if I go in here and go cabin lights, manual. I don't know, maybe that'll make a difference, I'm not sure. If you double right click on these, that it goes to the maximum on position, all these rotary knobs, it's the same. You double left click, it'll go to the off position, and if you middle mouse click, it'll go to the middle position, which is quite useful if you want to do that with some of the like the floodlights down here, like that. You can put it to the middle position, which isn't too ridiculously bright. And you can quickly turn it off as well, instead of having to scroll for a million years like that. Oh my god. Are we carrying a fifth engine? Not right now. I forgot that they added that, to be honest with you. We might have to piss about with that later, actually, to be fair. I genuinely forgot about that completely. There you go, the stats page up on there. And as you can see, we've got the lovely CRTs. Matt, when he streamed this last night, did make a big deal about, oh my god, the displays are curved, oh my god. I do hasten to point out that Flight Factor's 757 and 767 CRT displays are also curved, but anyway. They still are great, obviously. You can swap them for LCDs as well. If you go PMDG setup, and you go aircraft, and you go, like, say, equipment. There are 22 pages of equipment customizations you can make to this thing. Ridiculous amount. Some of them more interesting than others. Like, you can use an updated or original fuel system. Stab tank installed. Hydraulic auxiliary pump, which is what the iFly has, actually. But you can turn it on or off in this. We have an extra auxiliary pump along here, which you use during the startup procedure to power the brakes. Hell, we might as well just put it on, why not? And that gives this last one an auxiliary position. So... ADF installed, standby instruments. We can do that if we like, or that. So you can do. You can have a fairly modernised 747, or you can have a old school one, like what it looked like in the 80s, which is what I prefer personally. So you can have LCD displays instead of CRTs. You can have a digital standby instrument. You can have digital displays up here if you like. You can have the auto start system, which I do have installed up here, or you can choose not to have that. You can even turn on and off the headrests, apparently. The yoke placard, here you can do checklists, a custom one that you can edit yourself later if you want, and you can turn it off completely. I'll leave the basic Boeing checklist on though. For now, window frames you can change, amazingly enough. There you go, that's the new style apparently, and that's the old style. So like I said, you can have a totally up-to-date 747, or you can have an old school one. You can even turn the lavatory on and off, I'm not kidding. There's the door, and if we turn it on, we have a toilet. And before you ask, no, they didn't render the inside of it, sadly. But you know, we have a toilet button, folks, and it works. This is a first in Flight Sim. Flight test package. I don't know what that actually does. You can change the antennas. You can have all sorts of shit on there. I'm going to turn them all off for now, though. You can change the fire detection thing. Engine auto start switches. Ice protection option. You can have manual with detectors, which is what I've got right now. Those ones up there. Or you can do manual with no detectors, which looks the same, and you can do auto anti-ice, which gives you those switches instead. So basically, taxi lights, you can even turn them off. For example, I know for a fact that British Airways, their 747s don't have taxi lights on them. So when I get around to trying the BA livery, if they haven't already customized it already, like they normally do with some of the liveries with PMDG, if you go in the operations center, you'll notice some of the liveries do have a little icon next to them that tells you that they've configured everything in here to match the real plane. That's not a P3D fanboy at all. Don't be silly. Give him a break. He loves X plane. Doodly-doo. Paravisual display, that's another one. You can put in the original or adapted. I have no idea what the difference between those two is, but basically this is a really old school instrument that, again, I think only the British Airways 747s have. And you get this kind of barber pole sort of red and white thing on here, and it sort of animates. And essentially what it does is it's for doing takeoffs and reduced visibility. And what it does is it locks onto the localizer beam for the runway that you're on. And basically I think it's the faster it moves, the closer you are to the center line of the runway, and the slower it moves, the further away you are. So it's an additional visual indicator to tell you whether or not you're on the center line, basically, if the visibility outside is extremely poor. But that's what that does. BA have these on all of their Boeing planes, actually. I think they got them on their 777s and everything, but they did include that here as well. I'm just going to leave it off for now. And as I said, you can do AFDS, digital, or yeah, you know, the analog, which I'm going to go with personally. Radio tuning panels, you can have two styles. Push to talk on GS, intercom handset, evac panel. Auto brake switch, you can have it on the main panel over there, or over here on the pedestal. And you can change the way the minimums knobs work. You can have them just sort of rotary scroll wheel jobbies, or they sort of click and drag thingies. Resettable siren, you can choose which warnings you want. Like that. Or that. You can have either of those. Hey Dazza, it's going good, man. It's going good. RAAS, you can have that installed if you like. That comes with the plane, you don't have to buy it separately from FS2 Crew anymore, it would seem. Terrain, you can have the water in cyan if you like. I do. I like having it on there, actually. Allow glide slope capture before localizer. All sorts of shit, basically. That would be here forever if we went through all of it, but, you know, displays as well. I've got mine set to kilograms, CRTs, and degrees Celsius because I'm a filthy European. But you can have the LCDs as well, which look like that. And they do actually have, you can't see it very well right now, it's very subtle, but they do actually have a bit of a reflection effect on them. And that applies to the CDUs as well, as you can see. And I think, let me just see, if I go FMC, yeah, no, okay, I wondered if, they've modeled the FMCs kind of cool, because every time you click something, because they're pretty old boxes these, the whole thing flashes on and off. Even when you know, just click an option somewhere, like index, there you go, position, you know, it's not like the more modern ones you might be used to with the Airbus or the NGX or something like that. And I was wondering, actually, if you switched it from CRT to LCD, maybe it made a difference, I don't know, but anyway. Mind you, I don't know if that's applies to the CDU specifically or not, actually, because they don't seem to change when I change the displays. But anyway, you get the idea. You can change stuff. You can make it as modern as you like. Phone needs to shut up. We'll have the model in the CMC. I don't think it does anything. I think it's a dummy option. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. But no, none of these do. The ACMS doesn't do anything, and the ACARS doesn't do anything either. You're making your wallet cry. Deary me. So anyway, yeah, it's pretty flippin' extensive. Like, what I'm basically trying to say is that even though the price is big on this thing, I think what separates this from the FS Labs, which is basically up there for the same price. In fact, I think it's actually $5 more, if that even counts for anything. The thing I like about this, even though it's a big grenade to throw into the bank vault that is your wallet, you'd get a lot for your money, it seems, with this. Like, a hell of a lot. You can simulate virtually any type of 747-400, at least, that you can imagine, to be honest with you. You could sit there studying photographs of a specific 747 right down to the tail number, and you could customize it in the sim here to look exactly like the real one. Hence, I think when I get in the BA one, if it isn't set up already, I'm going to turn on the paravisual displays and turn off the taxi lights and things like that, just to sort of make it more like the real thing. So that's what I'm trying to say here. Like, I was, I'm impressed by how much they've given you with this, and this is all just one variant we're looking at right now. We're just looking at the bog standard 747-400, right? You still got all the, like, there's 3 different cargo variants, 3 or 4 different passenger variants as well that I, again, can't remember off the top of my head, all of them. So, anyway, let's get it moving. I kind of would like a bit more daylight than this, if I'm honest, but, oh, whatever, we'll just get on with it. So, let's see. Let's flip these boys to nav. And we can go down here to the FMC. You get 2D pop-ups everywhere, obviously, with this as well, which are a bit more useful, honestly, to me, anyway. Oh, and it comes with, like, the absolute latest AIRAC data as well, which is nice. It comes with 1702, which is great. So you're not stuck with, like, 2-year-old AIRAC data or anything like that. So we'll go pause in it, GPS position, copy it in there, route, and we'll be at KBFI, and our destination can be Seattle, although, like I said, we'll do a few circuits here before we actually bugger off over to Seattle. You can click below the index to get keyboard entry as well. Yeah, you can do that. You can just type in there. So, for instance, anyway, that's a useful little feature. I tend not to use that though, just because I end up inevitably getting conflicting keyboard commands. Like if I type a G into there, I'll probably end up raising my bloody landing gear or lowering it or something. So, more money for chase plan. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm using right now, by the way. So we can go departure, and we'll just do 13 right, and then we'll just do arrival. Alright, let's 13 right, likey so. And we'll leave that active for now. And we'll see if I can change this mid-flight basically to Seattle. and see what happens. Well, we'll do a real test of the box and see what it can do. I'll basically just do what I usually do and attempt to break it. See whether or not I can do it. Turn on the old lights down there. There's this thing down here as well. There's a attendant advisory. No idea what that does, but there's this thing as well. I don't know exactly how this works. I need to look in the manual for this, but you get little alerts from the back that pop up in here, like you know, when the cabin's ready, it'll pop up in here and say cabin ready. I don't know what that thing is actually for, but it that's what it's there for, I guess. That's what it does. Okay, so we can arm the lights and go ahead and power up our hydraulics, I suppose. If we go down here, you get the usual sort of fuel, payload, whatever setups here. We'll just do short range and payload. Random. I want something fairly light. Normally the random thing on the PMDG planes trolls me and puts like 7 passengers in. But that's alright, that'll do. What you can also do, which is pretty cool, right? One thing they've added here is you go doors, you've got a just wonderful close all, arm all, disarm all button, which is lovely. But you can obviously go through more pages and do them individually if you like. But also, they've added service vehicles. So if we just spam all of these, for shits and giggles, including the lavatory truck. We will get a bunch of vehicles starting to appear, GSX style. And what's great about these is the stairs in particular, for example, they will actually operate the doors for you. So you bring the stairs up, and the door will automatically open for the stairs, and when you send the stairs away, the door will shut and the stairs will bugger off. So you don't have to sit there flipping through door pages and things like that all the time like you do with GSX. It'll just sort of sort itself out. I think that's the fuel truck. Which is obviously PMDG catering. And I joked yesterday that presumably the peanuts from PMDG catering cost 20 quid a bag. But they are pretty good peanuts, though, from what I've heard, on the bright side. Is there any way you can communicate with ATC via text? I don't know. There's some sort of ATC logon bit in the CDU, but I don't know whether or not it works, or whether it's just a dummy page. No one I've seen so far has been able to get it to actually do anything, so I don't really know. That's the maintenance truck. But yeah, so you got all this stuff here, and I think it'll probably see, like, yeah, it's already opened these doors up by itself. And the cargo doors will open when the cargo guys get here, and I don't know why this is a big deal, but there are segways in the cargo bay for those who care. It's some sort of reference to something, I guess. No, I'm not on IVAO right now, no. There's never any controllers at the US on IVAO anyway, so there's not much point in being here. Being online right now. Small fuel truck for a 747. It kind of is, isn't it, really, actually? In fact, where even is the fuel tank that they're getting the fuel from? Seems to have plugged itself into the ground. Interesting. Okay. Fine. But anyway, yeah, it's all here. It all animates, stuff like that. You can see the little door things come open there, and they've plugged it in. Which is kind of cool, I guess. So that's kind of neat. Obviously, it's got its own built-in pushback stuff as well. Although I'll probably use GSX just because it's easier. There you go, it should open by itself. And when you dismiss the vehicles, as I said, it'll all close up, back up by itself, so you don't have to faff around with the doors if you don't want to. One thing I will say is all the animations, as per all of their previous planes, for some reason seem to be very low frame rate. I don't know why they do that. They must have a very good reason to still be doing that after all this time, but yeah, you'll notice it on the wing flap animations, you know, all that kind of thing, even the wing flex itself, it's all quite a low frame rate. I don't really know why. Maybe it saves performance or something, but I'm not so sure, really, honestly. But anyway, That is one downside, I have to say. To plug in the external power. Yeah, that's down here. That's plugged in right now. And there seems, I think you can get different types of external power as well. Different sockets or whatever. Yeah, presumably it's because of performance, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, right, so we've got all this on. This is all doing its thing. Hydraulics have pressurized. We can turn on our fuel pumps, and we have 10 million of them. Nav lights can go on. Packs are all off. This is all fine. And this is all fine. Things like the yaw dampers are already switched on. Because I think the way they've gone about this is they've given you a cold and dark state, which is one in which you would generally tend to find the plane in real life if you were just stepping into it for the first flight of the day. So switches that are always kept on, like the yaw damper, stay on. Pull to open. Am I going to regret this? I don't know. I'm not sure what that did. It may have just jettisoned the entire tail for all I know. I don't know. Anyway. Righty-ho. So, let's see. Let's get rid of all this ground crap now that I've displayed it. I don't actually need it now. All bugger off. Release the lavatory! Smithers! Release the toilet! And yeah, it's all doing its thing. The doors, as you can see, are already all shut. I don't know, I just like it, honestly. It'd be nice if the actual trucks and things matched the livery of the plane. That would be really, really nice, but generally speaking, that's pretty cool. I mean, I like the fact that all this is here and effectively saves you having to go to the trouble of buying bloody GSX just to get ground vehicles and stuff. Obviously, I already have GSX, but if you were just buying this brand new, after just buying P3D and getting it installed, this is nice to have this, really, to be honest with you. You like it, Yorkland, yeah. I've not actually flown it yet. As I said, I powered it up and did a rejected takeoff in it earlier, but I've not actually flown it yet. So, anywho, obviously it goes without saying all the 3D modelling and texturing in this cockpit is just 10 out of 10. You know, it just speaks for itself, really. That's why I've not brought it up, to be honest. It all looks fab. So, nothing more to be said there, really. So yeah, let's start the APU. If we go down there, we should see it start to spool up, hopefully. There we go. And if we go to the back, just a little tiny bit of attention to detail here, but it's a neat one. I wonder how many 747s there is in the ocean on Vatson right now. Probably a lot, yeah. If you go to the back here in the APU exhaust, not only can you hear the thing spooling up, but, wait for it, you can see smoke coming out the back. I don't know whether it's meant to be smoke or just sort of heat haze, but yeah. There you go. Obviously the 747 has a ginormous APU, because you can use it to start 2 engines at once, which is what we'll do. Or you can alternatively do 1 engine at a time and actually have one of the packs running at the same time, which is kind of badass, but yeah, there you go. How is the ground friction? It seems to be pretty straightforward. You push the power up a little bit, and then off you go, off you pop. I've only tried the CFM engines, which is what I think these are, or are they Pratt & Whitneys? No, they're Pratt & Whitneys. Okay, those are the only engines I've tried so far. It'd be interesting to see if the different ones, like the Rolls-Royce and the CFMs, have different amounts of thrust on the ground when you set it to idle. But it's not particularly difficult to taxi beyond having to cope with the sheer size of the bloody thing. I could do with a bit of lighting in here, to be honest with you, right now, actually. Anyway, so APU gens are available, so I'll turn them on, and we can get rid of that ground power now. And connections, release ground power, and we can whack on the brakes and remove that. We'll set that to auxiliary as well. I almost forgot that I enabled that option. So, okay. What else am I missing here, if anything? So we can turn the beacon on. And, yeah, I think we're ready more or less to get moving. I haven't activated this yet. Oh, let me do that. There we go. There we go. We've got our various waypoints and ILS information all dialed in there. I'm 99.9% certain the 747 automatically dials in your nav radios to the ILS frequency you're doing, so I don't have to worry about that. Am I? I'm doing pretty good, Mythic Tom. So anyway, there's a company CO report thing there. I don't know what it does. You can click send and it sends. I don't know if it does anything. Maybe it's just a dummy thing there for flavour. I don't know. But you also put in our performance data like that. Cost index. Who gives a crap? Reserves. Not going to be an issue. Cruise altitude. I don't know. 5,000. Enable cruise altitude. Well, screw it. Let's see. We'll have a pretty hefty D rate because we're nearly empty. And this thing has a lot of power on takeoff. We'll do flaps 10. And we can get our V speeds. And there's our CG, and it'll give us trim as well in a second. There you go, plus 5.9, so basically 6, which is already set to. So that's fine. That's the takeoff ref page done. We can go menu, FMC, legs. Which starts with the discontinuity, and that's fine. That's sort of on purpose. And then down here you've got the other stuff. Set that to RTO. So that's TARA, TARA. Fiddle with that if we like. It's like the 777. Make sure you actually click your radio on and the mic on, otherwise you might have issues on if you're flying online and not being able to hear or speak to controllers. And yeah, we're pretty much ready to push back now, I think. You can hear that APU roaring away, flipping out. It's not quiet, is it? No de-icing treatment for us, thanks. And we want to go nose right.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brakes set.
Oh, I wouldn't bother buying any of the Steam DLC for FSX if I were you. I'd just completely ignore all of it. None of it's required for anything. Also turn on the flight directors, and I'll set 151 in here.
Locking gear.
GSX obviously seems to work with this thing reasonably well. I've not tried using GSX for the actual stairs and stuff like that. I've no idea if that works or not. But it doesn't have any issues with the pushback. Although Having said that, last time I did push this thing back, as soon as he like finished pushing me back, the plane started rolling forward straight through the pushback truck, which was a bit weird. I had to slam on the parking brakes in order to not go any further. Alright, so, as I said, we'll do 2 at a time. Okay, all the packs are off, all the bleeds are on, all the isolation valves are doing their thing. So we'll just pull these and flick these because we've got the auto start system installed. That's optional, as I said earlier. So we don't have to do anything now, we can just watch the gauges. Watch the magic on the gauges, as Dame Flats will put it. And looks like, other than the oil temperature that's still rising, those 2 engines are good. So set the parking brake and we'll do the other 2. Oh, look at that! I never noticed that before, the smoke coming out the back. That's awesome. Yeah, these stairs are not long for this world, are they? Beautiful. Right, that can go to auto. The APU can be switched off. That's set to RTO. We can go ahead and set our flaps to 10. That's 3 detents. And it wants these, it wants those ones on as well, doesn't it? Yeah, there we go. I can't remember whether or not, I mean, I think you turn these off in the cruise, but I might be wrong, I'm not sure. There's a little bit of, sort of manual fuel management you do have to do in the 747, which is one of the things that makes it interesting to me, at least, actually. But yeah, and we'll just set our heading for takeoff as well. 130. There we go. Go ahead and set like 3,000 feet or so. There we go. Lovely. And yeah, that's pretty much the sort. We can put the taxi light on. We can turn the turn-offs on or off if we like. You can do them individually, or, and this is the same for their 777 at least. I don't know about the NG, but if you middle mouse click, it'll do all the, it'll do a gang switch thing. It'll do the whole lot of them at once instead of individually. I really wish, I don't mind saying this, I really flipping wish the FS Labs had that, because I hate faffing with the individual lights on the FS Labs. It's very annoying. But there you go, anyway. Come on this fine morning. I'm excellent, mate. I am excellent indeed. So anyway, we'll pull out the parking brake and I'll throttle the engines up a bit. You've got to give it a little bit to get it going. But once you've done that, you do not need much to keep it going. At least not with these engines. Again, it's sort of a case of it may vary greatly depending on which engines are installed and which variant you're flying, you know, depending on weight and things like that, like how heavy you are. I like how the screens they're not particularly fast. Like you see when I click that, it takes a minute or a moment there to load everything onto it because it's kind of old. Remember this is all from the 80s, right? This was all designed, so it's not the fastest tool in the box really. Yeah, I don't know how to deal with the audio pop. I think it's unique to P3D. I think if I stream or record anything else, I don't get the audio pop. It's just P3D for some reason. I don't know exactly what changed recently to cause it either, which is a little bit annoying. I really haven't figured out what's causing it. I sat down yesterday for a couple of hours and really tried to troubleshoot it, and came up with basically nothing. I tried a whole bunch of different things and I couldn't get rid of it.
On runway 13 right.
I love that it comes with RAAS out of the box. That's so good. I never liked the fact that if you wanted RAAS you had to buy it from FS2 Crew. Alright, let's do this. Now last time I had a bit of trouble trying to get it to actually, the throttles to go into toga mode. I think I just throttled it up to the green detents there and sort of had done with it. But let's see if I can do it now. I'm going to hold the brakes when I do this actually as well, because we don't have a massively long runway. And toga, there we go. I'll just hit T on my keyboard, that seems to do the trick.
Airspeed alive.
You can customize these callouts, by the way, that he's reading out in these CDUs.
80 knots.
V1.
Rotate. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Look at that climb rate, it's mental! Right, let's heading select and just do level change at 220 knots, I suppose. Go to flaps 5, turn the gear handle off. The clock! No worries, that's fine. By the way, if you right click the clock thing, one of these switches here, it'll put it into time compression mode. It has, like the 777, if you fancy doing long haul but don't have 8 hours to sit at the computer, it has an intelligent, like, auto time compression cruise option, where basically as long as the plane is flying in a straight line and there is no turbulence, it will increase time compression up to a specified amount in here. And if you get to a turn, like at a waypoint or something like that, or you encounter turbulence, it will disengage time compression automatically. So that's pretty neat as well. So if you want to do a long trip halfway across the world, but you don't actually want to have to sit down and do it for 8 hours, you can use their intelligent sort of auto cruise feature, or whatever it is they call it. Which again, I think personally is pretty bloody cool. So anyway, there's Seattle down there. I'm going to go ahead and make a left turn right about now. My natural pilot? No. Definitely not. I'll shoot the ILS this time and use the autopilot, and then on the second, because I'm going to do a touch and go, I will I'll hand fly a circuit. I'll try to anyway. Go flaps 25 landing because we're not going to stick around. We're going to take off again. The frame rate is as you see it right now. It's about what you'd expect in the middle of Seattle at low altitude in a complex tube liner, so it's not too bad. It's not the best, but it's honestly actually not that bad at all, considering. And I'm planning on getting another face cam at some point. What I really need to do before I get another face cam is I need to get a powered USB hub to plug it into. Did I notice the TPS report? TPS report? No. What is that and where is it? You know what, we won't use auto brakes either. It does look good, doesn't it? It's in the document cabin. Cabinet, bottom right door. Well, that moves apparently. Oh, I can't read it, it's too dark. Does the aircraft have a cargo lux repaint? It absolutely does, and I'm going to fly it later. Once we're done with this here. In fact, it has more than one cargo lux paint, if I recall correctly from looking at them in the operations center. This thing, like, one thing I'll give them some serious credit for is they did not skimp on the liveries for this plane. If you go into the operations center, which I don't think I can show you right now because my streaming software won't actually capture it properly, but they've released a absolute buttload of liveries for this thing. There are, like, I don't know how many exactly, but there are dozens and dozens and dozens of liveries for this thing out of the box, which is awesome. You just got to download them in the operations center. I don't charge for them either. Yeah, that's true.
Pull up.
I think that was... I don't think that was the sim, was it? That did make me jump back in the cockpit just to be sure, though, Angus. You bastard. Flippin' heck, dude.
2500.
Let's turn it around. Is there an Iron Maiden one? If there is, I bloody missed it, mate. I'll have a look for that in a second, actually. Yeah, to be completely honest, yeah, you're kind of right. The flight fact deliveries are a bit poor. I actually spent a significant amount of time fixing their British Airways one for the 767 and for their 757, for that matter. I need to upload the 757 one at some point, actually, so you guys can use it as well. Best looking 32-bit you've seen in a while, yeah. It's not bad. Definitely not bad. Turn on terrain, I suppose. That'd be helpful, actually. Got a weather radar in here as well, which I believe works with Active Sky 16. I don't know. It's in here somewhere. There it is up there, yeah. Are we going to grab this glide slope? I hope so. We've got the localizer. There it is, glide slope, lovely. Right, so our approach speed. Ooh. Do that ish. Should be okay. Morning, Wayne. Gear down, and we want flaps 25. Config gear. Yeah, it's alright. Calm down. Gear's coming down. Chill. Config gear. The CRTs look gorgeous, by the way. There you go. Finally. And just for shits and giggles, I'll hand fly it from here, and I have no idea what a 747 hand flies like. It definitely feels like a big heavy plane. You can see there's a lot of yoke movement for not a lot of actual movement. It definitely feels a bit more responsive than the iFly does, to be fair. You want to compare? I do remember watching a documentary by Bruce Dickinson, actually, of all people. And in it there was an episode where he flew a 747, and he did comment, actually, that it was surprisingly responsive for such a gigantic plane. It's extremely stable, has to be said. I will... get rid of that. Yep, I know, the auto throttle's out, it's fine. That's on purpose. I don't know whether or not you're supposed to leave it in on landing in at a 747. I'm guessing maybe not, because it's kind of an old plane. But then again, you might be able to find an option in the CDU down there that updates it so that you can land it with the auto throttle in, who knows. I'm probably going to plonk it right in, aren't I, because I'm not used to the height of this frickin' plane.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Oh, we really don't have room to float this one. Just put it down. Come on. Alright, and off we go again. Well, I'll try and hand fly it around this time. Goes up like a bloody rocket. My god. It's incredible. Thank you. Yes, gear. Cheers for that. God damn it. You can actually turn on the flight path vector, which would be super helpful right about now. There we go. You do have to actively trim it as well. It's not fly-by-wire, so... Nice. I'm not even putting the auto throttle back in, honestly. I'll just do manual throttle all the way around. Why not? Fuel tank / engine. Does it want me to turn these off now? Possibly, or maybe do something with the cross feeds. Again, I'm not 100% familiar with the fuel management in this thing, but as I said, there is a manual element to it that you have to actually do. I think maybe we need to turn on the stabs. Or is it these cross feeds? There we go, yeah, you have to turn on the cross feeds, there we go. Yeah, cheers, Barora. And again, I like it for that. I do. I really do. I like that it's more hands-on. Fuel pump stab left and right. Yeah, it wants those off. Okay. Thankfully, the ICAS is programmed in such a way that even an idiot can figure out the fuel system eventually. I.e. me. Lovely view. Alright, so this time we'll do another go around. You know, we'll do another touch and go, and the final time we'll bring this around and I'll actually land it at Seattle. So I'm going to get some KSDA charts up for myself. Alright. And flying this thing on the instruments is actually pretty easy, it's got to be said. Okay. I'll just... It's already enabled, but I'll hit it again. Oh god, we're way over the thing. I was looking at that extended scent line that seems to be way off for some reason. That's okay. Whatever, we'll just visual approach this stuff. Altitude alert, yeah, that's fine. No worries. The glide slope and localizer diamond seem to have disappeared when I refreshed the approach mode for some reason. I don't really know why, but screw it. Do some of that pilot shit instead. Okay, flaps 25. Shadow Mike Gaming, thanks for the follow. Alright, so again we're going to do a touch and go. And then I'll fly runway heading for a bit. Vector ourselves off back down that way. And we'll set up for an approach into Seattle, Tacoma instead of Boeing Field. And while I do that, I'll obviously have the autopilot on and I will see if we can reprogram the FMC in flight to get us an ILS approach into Seattle. Preferably 16 right. That's what I'm looking for runway-wise.
Approaching runways.
Approaching runways. Thanks for being nice and specific, RAAS. Again, that's not FS2 crew RAAS. This plane literally just comes with RAAS out of the box if you enable it in the menu options in the CDU, which is awesome, needless to say. the lights have come on.
100.
Very nice.
50. 30. 20. 10.
Oh, the float. The float. Come on. And... it's amazing that you can do touch and goes in a plane this bloody big, but you can quite easily. Gear up. Remembered it this time. Hooray. Now, let me get this trimmed a little bit. Right, autopilot's on. We'll climb up to 3,000, then turn around, and then I'll start playing with the box. Huge ass! I give you the follow. That's a name that's familiar to me, actually. You've either been to my streams before, or I remember you from YouTube, I think. But huge ass is definitely familiar for some reason. Insert your clever comments here. It's not climbing very fast, is it? Okay, so let's get fiddling with this. KSEA, execute, arrival, 16 left, transition. Griffey or PAE, we can choose from. I'll choose PAE. Execute. Go to legs. I need to be quite high for this, so let's climb up to 5,000. Oh yeah, ooms, memory, stuff like that. Let me get Trace Plane up and I'll show you how much I've got right now. We're flying around and have been for a little while now in the Seattle area, so big city, a couple of airports, and I've got 1.3 gigs of VAS free, so with, is it Taxi to Gate Seattle down there, or is it Flight Beam? I forget, anyway. We'll do flaps 30. There we go. It's a Taxi to Gate, gotcha. I don't have Vorbex NorCal installed, but I do have Open Land Class North America as well, just as a frame of reference. I don't have Victor installed at the minute, actually. I uninstalled Victor a little while ago. Hello, Keith. Been seeing a lot of 747s on PE since last night. This explains it, yep. It rather would, wouldn't it? Okay. Just realised the dome light was on this whole time. Well, I can confirm there's no memory leak on the dome light, at least. How do I get my VAST and stuff? Well, in Chaseplane, if you're using Chaseplane, it displays it there. I think if you've got FSU IPC, I think there's an option you can enable to show it in that, and also if you get the Project Fly pilot tools, you can see it in that as a percentage. Why did I uninstall Vector? Just to get some performance and VAST back, really, mostly. After I got the FS Labs installed, I was on a bit of a quest to try and improve my Sim's performance, and I just decided, what if I got rid of Vector? And I did, and it seems to have worked out fine. Because not only that, but Vector also, obviously, I hated having to do the elevation correction every time I installed a new scenery. And to be honest with you, I see no visual difference out of my window. I mean, obviously there are probably a few roads and things that aren't there that maybe should be there, and stuff like that, and the coastlines maybe aren't quite as detailed, but generally speaking, looks fine to me. Flippin' out, that's pretty. Amazingly enough, my VAST just went up when I went to the external view instead of going down. Am I using PTA? Yes, I am. My config for it is down in the information below the stream if you want to use my settings. They've got some really nice reflection effects on it. I think their 777 is similar, actually, to be fair, but yeah, God, it looks good. Alright, anyway. Can't wait for all the Air Force Ones. Of course, I think the presidential 747s are actually classics, aren't they? They're 200s, not 400s. I'm not sure that'll bother some people though. Oh, look at the rate of turn increase as the flaps come out. Yeah, apparently there's an Ed Force 1 livery. I've not seen it, actually, when I had a look through the livery manager earlier. Let me see if I can get it up again here while we shoot this approach. 747 version 3, livery manager, livery downloader. Here we go. So as you can see, like I said, there's an absolute mother load of liveries, just loads of them, like old-fashioned liveries, modern ones. There's 3 BA ones, there's 3 flipping KLM ones, there's loads. There's 2 Qantas ones for 2 different variants. All the cargo ones, including Cargo Lux, which is I think a bit of a favourite for a lot of people. Ed Force 1. Somebody said there's an Ed Force 1 livery. Are they pulling my leg, or is there really one there? I love this though, really. Like one of the things that annoys me is when you buy a plane and there's like 2 liveries for it and that's it, and you have to wait for some talented fella to come along and make some more for you. But they've just shipped this thing with like 10 million liveries. There it is. It's because it isn't actually called Ed Force 1. That's why I didn't bloody notice it. Yes, please. Brilliant. All right. Anyway, let's move that out of the way. No, when I'm flying on Pilot Edge next time I get on. Fantastic. It's the very top one here in the 747-400, Air Atlanta Icelandic. But if you look at the thumbnail, you can see Iron Maiden, Book of Souls World Tour. I didn't notice it at first either, so... Where's DME on this? It's right there. Cool beans. Oh look, fireworks! I am taking a screenshot of that actually. Print screen. That's going in the folder. God, the DME text is bloody small, isn't it? Yeah, 8.1. I almost need a zoomed in pilot view preset so I can see the screens a bit better. Either that or I need to buy a bigger monitor.
2500.
Actually, you know what? No, you know what? I'm not going to mess with it now. We're a bit late into this. Or can I? Forget it, we're locked into this one now. I was going to see if I could switch runways to that one, but... Yeah, it would cock everything up at this point if I tried to switch. I mean, I could do a visual switch, but I'd like to do a... Shall I auto-land it, just to see it do it? We could do that, I suppose. I'm probably never going to do it again, so... FMC message. Runway ILS frequency error, yeah. That's because I'm an idiot and tried messing with it, my bad. I could fix it. I'm sorry, plane, I'm sorry. There you go. No auto land, apparently. Rip. Please?
1,000.
I guess probably the ILS for this runway isn't good enough, is it? Or something like that. Whatever. Fine. We'll do it the boring way.
Too high. Approaching.
Might have left this a bit late.
Too low, gear. Too low, gear. Too low, gear. Too low, gear. Too low, gear.
And turns out I did it just in the nick of time. Loud noises.
$50, $30, $20, $10.
The float. There we go. Get a bit reverse on the go as well. Knots. Clean it up. Lovely. I'm going to take this left here. It is so weird taxiing this thing, it really is. It's frankly bizarre being this high off the ground. Where the hell do you park a 747 at Seattle anyway? Guessing we need a pretty big gate, right? These look pretty big here actually. I guess we'll take one of these. Don't need a bit of a wind up to this. And start that APU while we're at it as well. This is probably big enough, right? Oh, we have ground marking, sweet. None of them fit a 747, so we're probably not meant to park here. But never mind. RIP! Let's just stop it there. Okay. Cool. Stats, blah blah blah. Right, APU's doing its thing, so we can just go ahead and Oh yeah, don't forget to actually put on the APU generators, it's not automatic. Maybe we won't look at that side. There should be 747 gates. Oh, maybe they are, but there's... I mean, it looks pretty big, right? But there isn't an actual 747 marking on the ground, that's all. Nice. Well, there you go. We never switched the packs on once that entire flight. My bad. Whoops. It's fine. We didn't go very high. Mental note. Next time, try not to kill your passengers. Alright. The dome light on. There we go. See a bit better now. Lovely. Non-existent passengers, you may get up and leave. But let's go down here. Ground connections. Single GPU plug, dual jetway plugs. We'll go single GPU plug, why not? Set the chocks, release the brake, request ground power, request ground air conditioning, why not? And return. This will come on in a second, wait for it. Sometime today would be nice. Arriving. Whoa! Alright, it still has that audio bug that every other PMDG plane seems to have, which is interesting. They're taking their time with this, aren't they? There we go. External power is available. Awesome. So I will just go ahead and turn that off. Can return here, and we can go to service vehicles and quick cabin cleaning. Might need a bit of cleaning out after one or two of those approaches. Fuel truck, lavatory, because why not? And we'll get some stairs. Well, no, actually, you know what? We don't need stairs. We got one of these. Durr. Oh, we'll get some stairs anyway. There you go. And as I said before, when the stairs and stuff get here, it will automatically open the doors. Whenever they do get here. Don't know what Jetway's doing. Trying its best, I think, is what it's doing. There you go. And that sound that kind of sounds uncannily like a gigantic lavatory flushing is the APU going offline. There you go. Is there any smoke still coming out the back? No, it does not like it. Anyway, there you go. That's our little test flight out of the way, I guess. Famous shit truck, yes. Here he comes. The one and only. Dun da da dum. PMDG lavatory services. Oh, okay. Okay, and there it is. It's pulling all the shit out. Lovely. Yeah, the bare metal does look gorgeous, doesn't it? As I said, it would be nice if they made it so the trucks fitted the livery that you were using, but I can't complain too much. You basically get a whole GSX thing entirely for free, so it's not bad, and this is not going to end well, is it? So there you are. A to back to A again twice, and then to B. You love this add-on so much. Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it, Chevy? I gotta admit. I was skeptical. I was thinking, you know what, I've already got the iFly. What is this really going to offer me? And after watching a few streams and videos and things like that, I actually was kind of surprised. And then when I actually bought it, and again, half of this was paid for by you guys, so thank you very much. Half of this was paid for with your donations, so... but once I actually got in the thing and started playing around with it earlier this morning, I was like, yep, this is definitely worth the money. What's it like on frames in comparison to the 777? I haven't got in the 777 recently as a comparison, but it seems more or less exactly the same. So it's maybe a tiny bit frame heavier than the NGX, and seems maybe about the same, if not a little better, than the FS Labs A320 as a frame of reference. But frame rate wise, it seems to be great, and VAS wise, as you can see, we've been at like 1.3 for the entire flight from start to finish. So even while flying around Seattle, so VAS does not seem to be an issue either. How was dinner last night? Cold. Unsurprisingly. Beautiful. I could genuinely just sit here looking at the damn thing all day. How'd you start a gate? Well, when you start it up, when you go new scenario here, you need to go change airport. Then you want the airport ID, and then starting location, and then you pick a starting location from this drop down here. That's what you need to do. How much money have I put in this game? I don't know, because I don't want to know, frankly, how much I've put into this. It would easily go into the thousands, though. It's kind of like, I don't necessarily want to know how much my Steam account is worth, for example. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. Look at that. Bloody hell. Hashtag screenshot. Yeah. I think so. Print screen. Going in the folder. Right, there we go. Crop. Save. JPEG. Job done. D3D porn folder. Yeah, essentially, really. It's the aircraft porn folder. It's actually what plays the when I go on the starting soon screen. That's what you see in the background. All those screenshots, they're from that folder. So. Alright, let's see. Do I want to restart the sim? I probably should, but I'm not going to bother. It might just crash if I try and do this anyway, who knows, but... Let's see if we can move ourselves over to Amsterdam and change plane while we're at it. Might throw a hissy fit at me, though, if I try and change from a PMDG plane to another PMDG plane, though, so... Maybe I'll just go with the Cub. Right. Where the hell is the cargo bit out of all this? Apron J, Y, let's go there, the U apron. And yep, there we go. So we're going to do Amsterdam to Stansted, which is a super duper short flight, but it is a real world one that was flown a little while ago by Cargo Lux. So we're going to get the big ass cargo version of this plane. I might have to import all my chase plane presets though, but that's okay. Should just stream in a Cub. Well, when the Aerosim dev group Cub is ready to be streamed, I will be streaming that. So I will do a Cub stream at some point. Will be a super Cub, mind you. Right. Okay. Select vehicle. 747. Right, it should be here somewhere. Well, let's just have a quick look at Ed Force 1. Oh, that's not Ed Force 1. What am I doing? There it is. Yes! It's there. They've got it. Fantastic. We'll have to do like the whole tour, like as it's written on the side of the plane. We'll have to do that. Brilliant. Right, well I'm going to save that for later though. Don't want to blow my load all at once. Right, there it is. That's the one I was after. Gorgeous. Right. Holy crap. Hello. Yeah, I need to get all my new presets and import them all over. Import all presets. Import all. I need to set up the hotkeys for them as well. I don't know what it's doing right now. Stop, please, please stop. What are you doing? Oh my god! Flippin' heck, plane. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think the autopilot is on or something, yeah. Okay, that was interesting. That's better. Yikes. Okay. I'll turn the audio down a bit now. I've shown off the sounds full properly. Alright, let me just carry on. Oh my god. Carry on assigning my hotkeys for this quickly. Here we go. Pad 3. I basically have my chase plane set up though, so it works exactly like the X-plane view system. Wait a minute. No, it should be 7. So I have all the same hotkeys in X-plane as I do in P3D now, thanks to chase plane, which is pretty nice. Personally, I think it's nice anyway. Beautiful. Job done. Alright. Okay. And this is a Rolls-Royce variant as well. Sweet. I've been kind of wanting to know what these sound like. So, City of Wolferdanga. Interesting. I did load up the Cub first. Did you not see it? Now I can add the 5th engine too. Oh, can I? Ooh, I might do that then. How'd you start Cold and Dark? Bloody hell. It depends on the plane. Some of them have a panel state thing, like you saw me do there. Some of them you have to load up like the Cub first, and then turn everything off, kill the engine and everything, and that sort of thing. And then switch to the... Honestly, it's a massive pain in the arse. It's not like X-Plane where there's a handy-dandy Cold and Dark tick box in the options menu, unfortunately. It's one of my big gripes with P3D, really, is that the fact that they haven't just simply added a Cold and Dark button in the, you know, in the options menu. Alright, so... Does it look any different? It does look a bit different. Don't have an auto start system. One thing. Let me have a look in the options thing. PMDG. Operations Center. I want to see if this thing's got like actually accurate like systems on board or whether it's just a default thing. Every downloader. Is it 400F? Yeah, it is. It doesn't have one of these little checkboard things next to it, so yeah, it's just using a default sort of panel setup. In which case... turn on the battery. Get this up. Come on, how do you do it? You just hold this down, I think. I can't even remember. I need to get... Oh, here we go. It has come on, nice. If we go PMDG setup aircraft, load from another. Oh, blimey. What's the tail number of it? Where is it? I'm going to have to open it up in here again. I want all the options I had in the previous one. November 401 Papa Whiskey. Loading aircraft config. Hooray! There we go. Nice one. Right. This is the modern version. Is it? Do Cargolux have like a super modern version? I assumed for some reason that they would have an old one. I don't know. They do have a few old ones. They're 400s because they. Yeah, no. The bulk of their fleet are 747-8s, and this is not a 747-8. This is a 4. Oh wow! Look, they've got a little curtain instead of a door because it's a cargo version. Ah, never noticed that. That's pretty cool. Anyway, right. It's going to take its sweet time, isn't it? I want to open up the nose. Service vehicles. Nose cargo, yeah, here we go. And side cargo. And a fuel truck. And some stairs. Hello, Angry Beaver. My flaps are down. That's not ideal, but okay. Look at him go. Crikey. How many 747s are flying around an IVAO right now? Actually, not that many. Doesn't look like it anyway. At least not around Amsterdam, which is where I'm looking. Come on, I'm waiting for it. Come on. I want to see that nose open. I want to see it go all derpy. Let's make it happen, guys. Well, not open by itself. Do I have to do it in the options? This should open by itself. Open up the nose for 40 pounds of cocaine falls out. Giyan, thanks for the follow. I have no idea how to pronounce your name. I apologise for that. Behold! Oh my god, look. Like, they just get in and then they climb a freaking ladder to get into this bit. Wow. Fair play. And they've got this little area here. And then there's the cockpit. Huh. Alright, let's open the whatchamacallit. The external power on as well. I'm gonna line these. Resyncing other FMC. Cool. Are these going to turn on? This one's turned on. Yep, there it is. Sweet. I need hydraulic. That's a good point, actually. I think you can hear the hydraulic accumulators humming. I don't know about you. I think I can hear that in the background. Let's go down here. Doors. Nose cargo, side cargo. Really? Come on. Oh, it doesn't want to open. Oh. Why? Why won't it open? Need one extra power source that is not in use. Just start the APU, that makes it work. Oh, okay then. Fair enough. Them engines though. See the smoke coming out the back again. There it is. Now is it going to work? Opening! Yes, it's coming open! Oh my god! Dirt face! Yes! Brilliant! So majestic. Look at it. Are links allowed? Yeah, they are. As long as they don't suck. Oh! There's a lot of stuff in here. Now here's my question. Oh, actually inside some of the boxes. Here's my question. In their DC-6 for X-Plane, the amount of actual physical cargo that's in the hold changes depending on how much payload you put in the plane. So I'm wondering if... oh my god, yeah, look, you can see it right through the windscreen. So cool. I'm wondering if we go down here and go payload and set empty. Will the plane empty? Yes, it does! Jesus Christ. I think I've been in cathedrals that were smaller than this. Manual land with the nose open. That's an episode of Air Crash Investigations waiting to happen. Can you go to the rear pressure bulkhead? I don't necessarily know what a rear pressure bulkhead is. Do you mean this? You work in freight, lots of horror stories about freight doors opening shortly after takeoff. Ugh. Ugh. That's all I have to say to that. Ugh. Triple 7 cockpit from outside. Are you serious? Hold on. Hold on. No, it's a 747 cockpit. panic over. It's got LCD screens, but... Oh no, wait a minute. That is a 777 panel, isn't it? Look at it. At least the lower bit, anyway. PMDG, you cheeky buggers. Right, anyway. As if. Flight aware. I'm thinking maybe I should go on IVAO for this. There's only an Amsterdam tower controller on and nothing else, but I don't know, it's better than nothing, eh? Trying to find the call sign of the Cargolux flight that did this a little while ago, so... Here we go. It was Cargolux 711. It landed 3 hours and 7 minutes ago. In the real world. So that's what we'll do. Okay. Add-ons, start IVAP. Okay, main, ACARS, and flight plan. What on earth is their ICAO thing? CLX, I think. Yeah, CLX. Right. B744. Or should it be B74F? Yeah, I guess we'll just go with that. I could stop misbehaving itself. There we go. Departure Amsterdam. Stansted. Oh, we've already got the route from yesterday. That's perfect. I don't even have to do anything. Great. Persons on board. 3. We're a cargo flight after all. Yep, okay, that's fine. Doodly-doo. Doodly-doo-doo-doo. CLX 711. There we go. Flight level 240, cruising speed, whatever. This thing, like, at 747, can cruise so damn fast, by the way. Like, it can do Mach decimal 9. I've done it before on the iFly, it was great fun. Alright, send flight plan. And connect. Beautiful. Move you off the screen there. Yeah, you do have to put it in the streaming thing. So it's one of their rules. I think they introduced it fairly recently, according to Giant Unicorn anyway. Because basically the controllers want to know if they're being streamed on the internet, essentially. And I think that's probably fair enough. Alright. 119225. And don't forget those. This info Charlie and initial contact. Good point. New notepad page. We are Cargo Lux 711. Because you put up the nose door while mid-flight. I'm gonna guess probably not.
Municipal Tower, good evening. Final 846. Request IRF.
Right, what do we got? Let me look at the ATIS thing here. Departure runway is 18 right. Transition level. Watch the TA is 3,000.
Finnair,
Text pilots expect delay. Info
Finnair
Charlie.
846, you could Helsinki Airport via the other two departure out of runway 18 left, squawk 0060.
QNH 1010.
Confirm you.
And wind 130 at 10 knots.
Finnair 846.
I got a new sound pack for the NG, by the way. Not that anyone really cares about the 737 right now, but
Helsinki, runway 1.
I actually did get a
Via
I did get a sound pack for it.
to Echo Squawk 0.
I got the TSS sound pack or whatever. Hang on a second, there's click spots there, but no actual panel. Where the fuck?
46.
Hold a second.
Finnair 846, please change your flight plan, flight rules to IFR instead of VFR, and you will get a squawk code from me in just in a second.
It's sort of the end. The auto start system exists,
Right. Turn down the
but it's
panel
not
to
actually
Finnair
physically there on the panel. That is
8,
weird.
46. Please, right.
Or yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. That's strange. Okay. Fine. You thought I'd crashed into a jetway? No.
Tower, good evening, Kakoluk 661
Right.
Romeo.
I'm not the only Cargolux, it seems.
79, information Charlie on board, because I have off limits.
Right, set a random.
Yeah, last station calling, what call sign?
Kakoluk 661 Romeo.
Get a decent load. Come on.
Yeah, Calculux 661
That'll
Romeo,
do.
clear to Madrid Airport via the Leco 2 exit departure out of 18 left, squawk is
Yeah.
32.
Lots of boxes. That's what I want to see.
By the Leco
Had a fifth
3
engine.
exit
Oh,
departure out of
right,
runway
yeah.
18 right, squawk 3142 for Kakoluk 661 Romeo.
How the hell do I do that?
Calculux 661 Romeo, negative Leco 2 exit departure and squawk 3132.
Flare tones. Oh. I thought for a second that said flare dispensers, and I was like, what?
Kakoluk 661 Romeo.
Calculux 661 Romeo, we have the correct command start.
Tower, KLM 1313.
KLM 1313, go ahead.
Kun je even je ATIS checken? Je staat arrival 18 left en departure 18 right. Moet omgekeerd zijn.
Oh, ja, bedankt voor de info, ik heb het gewijzigd.
No, I don't see anywhere.
Careful tower, ready for pushback and start at gate this 8.
But yeah, I got the TSS sound pack for the 737 alongside that other one that got released a little while ago, and that plane sounds incredible now, by the way. So I might actually end up flying that at some point. We wanted to do a 737-900 flight out of Amsterdam in the KLM colours for a little while now. So anyway, not that anyone gives a shit right now. Yeah, I can't find it anywhere.
1193, confirm you have already your clearance.
Clearance to begin.
Right, okay.
On the 2 Echo, runway 18 left, squawk 0144. KLM 193.
Yeah, KLM 193 still approved. Kilo QNH 1010.
Right. The next page. Alright, route.
Please stay for
Our route. Let me just find yesterday's routes. We did. Logbook. You.
KLM 717, request taxi clearance.
Gorlo.
Scan 717, taxi to
Upper Mike 20.
via Alpha.
Then
Request Alpha Holding
Rinnis.
Point Echo 6.
Yeah, taxi to Echo 6 via
And
Alpha.
then Mike 20.
And do you need to cross the runway? Yeah.
Ja, anders kom je Echo 6.
I suppose they maybe did 2D panels for the sake of
Yeah,
home
actually,
cockpit
yeah.
builders. That's the only reason I could think of. Although I do like having some of the 2D pop-ups at least for the screens and the
Yeah,
CDUs.
KLM 717 taxi to Hollywood Echo 6, runway crossing 09 is approved. No traffic inbound via Alpha.
Should be 18
Holding
left.
Point
Apparently they're using 18 right
Alpha 1
on their ATIS at the moment.
The cross is approved. KLM 717.
Should be 18 left. Alright, well I'll find out in a second when I call for clearance, so. Mike 20... Desi.
En Schipper, goedenavond alweer. KLM 1313 with you information Delta. Stand Bravo 27. Request the clearance to Toulouse as well.
KLM 1313.
Spending 140 bucks on a plane having and have 2D panels. Well, you could flip that argument and say if you're spending 140 bucks on a plane, it sure as shit better have 2D panels in addition to everything else. For those who want that option.
Clear to Toulouse. Confirm Echo to Echo 18 left. KLM 1313.
ATIS is wrong, should be updated now.
Affirmative.
Yep, it has been. Cheers. Info Delta we want now.
Oké, nou even ook misschien een info voor jou. Tegenwoordig weet ik dat het een Echo 3 Echo is, maar in dit geval dan, volgens mij moet het hetzelfde zijn, maar het is alleen 3 Echo. Dus Echo 2 Echo, runway 18 left, squawk 3133, KLM 1313.
KLM 1313,
Oops, there we go.
Wipik is correct. Ja, ik ga even snel maar kijken en kom je nog ready for push.
We'll go for the push and start 1313.
Hey Brian, het is de Echo 3 Echo.
Ja, ik zie het nu ook.
It said 18 right a few minutes ago, but they've changed it now.
Municipal Tower, Finnair 846, ready for push and start.
It's just a shame that it doesn't gradually load in the cargo, but that's fine.
Finnair 846,
Doesn't really
push
matter
start
that much.
approved. No Q&A's 1010.
Alright, so we're in the middle of nowhere right now.
Push and start approved, Finnair 846.
There are a few hidden click spots for the 2D panels here and there, actually. I think I found one over here earlier. Somewhere. There's one up there. There it is, for the EFIS panel. And I think there's another one for the MCP as well, yeah. Only your glass toys, Angry Beaver. There it is, yeah, there we go, cheers. Alright, where actually are we right now? I think we're on the uniform apron? Yeah. Okay, okay. Still just Tower Online, yeah, okay. Schiphol Tower, good evening. Cargo Lux 711 are on the uniform apron with information Delta requesting clearance to Stansted. Probably shouldn't have been on the uniform apron. Like, there's no, you know, like,
Cargo 711.
there's no, like, you know, cargo building.
711,
So
you're clear to land Stansted by the Volvo.
Come again.
Volko, 3 Echo departure out of runway 18 left. Squawk is 6261.
Okay, clear to Stansted via the Valco 3 Echo, runway 18 left, and squawk 6261, cargo lux 711.
Cargo 711, repack is correct. And welcome, you're ready for push start.
Wilco 711. Yeah, I know, the spotlights really do wonders for the lighting system in that plane, don't they? I mean, the lighting in this one's okay, in the interior at least, but it is still, as far as I can tell, lit textures, as opposed to actual 3D lighting. And the, I have to be honest, the landing and taxi lights outside at night look kind of appalling, because it's literally just a texture on the ground that hovers. It's not very good. Bit of a shame, really, but never mind. Okay, so we're ready to get going, more or less, momentarily. Let's put our squawk in. 6261.
Tower P9 8 for 6 ready to taxi.
Beautiful. Let's go down here.
6, taxi to Honeyport November 5 via Alpha.
18 left. And
Taxi going for
3 Echo.
November
Execute.
5 via Alpha P9 8.
And there'll be a
6.
disco there which we can close. There we go. Lovely jubbly. That's sure as hell interesting, but okay. Yep, all looks good. On data if we like.
Can I 717 confirm ready for departure?
Affirm.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Alright.
717,
This cockpit's so freaking gorgeous, by the way, isn't it? I mean, I know it goes without saying, like I said earlier, but
You've taken one at left, KLM 717.
it's just gorgeous. Like, all the texturing and everything is so nice. Anyway. Don't know if you said this, because your teacher came in and told you to help him, so I may have missed it, but how much time have I played this game? No idea, no idea. It's not a Steam game or anything, so I don't have a log, but a long bloody time. At least 1,000 hours, I should say, if not more. Probably much more, actually. Right. Okay, hydraulics are doing hydraulicking. We can go down here and just go fuel and then short range. We are not going very far, and I can't bother to do a whole sim brief thing. I'm trying to get the fuel calculations and stuff exactly bang on. We'll be fine, trust me. Off, and the rest of this is fine. Maybe want to put the F cargo heat on, I don't know. This is all good. We can go down here, we can do our perf data stuff. Our fuel weight, reserves, who cares? Cost index, again, who cares? Cruise out 240. Thrust limb, we'll do a bit of a D-rate. We do have a lot of cargo in the back, to be fair, so and we'll do flaps 10 and get those V speeds in and get our CG and trim 5.3.
Yeah, 717 no per the agency and then it will move to 1 bye-bye.
There you go.
KLM
Lovely,
level
jubbly.
766, bye-bye.
Let's go menu, FMC, legs. Very good. FS actions, doors, close all, service vehicles, can all bugger off. And ground connections, they're all removed. Parking brake on, remove the chocks. Yep, she is a little bit on the old side. Although, like I said, you can totally re-customize the flight deck so it has all the new modern stuff in there, like the LCD screens and digital displays and everything. If you really fancy it, it's quite possible to do that. I'll probably have at least one livery that's got a super modernized display just for variety's sake. Is active skying right now? It is. I guess the weather's just really good here in Holland right now. Is it though? I mean, I'm not looking at the METAR right now. Scattered at 44,000. 4,400 even.
Start KLM 1313.
I'm not seeing anything right now.
KLM 1313 push setup.
I'm just going to reboot Active Sky.
Push and start approved
Standby.
1313.
And while I'm at it,
KLM 246
set my
5.5.
Ja, dankjewel.
altimeter, which should be 1010. There we go. Lovely. I've rebooted Active Sky, but there we go. Yeah, it was definitely bugging out. There was something not right. Okay, so I would like these doors to close sometime today. That would certainly be nice. They are refusing, however. Doors. Come on! Really? Do I need to plug the ground power back in or something? Maybe I do. I don't know. Come on. Just says arriving. Gen 2, external 2 available. Is that what I need? I need either Gen 2 or external 2 to be able to operate the door. You reckon, Verdi? Yeah, I think it's a pretty nice looking plane too, eh? Will you close now? Yep. Okay, apparently that's the way you got to do it then. Fair enough. I wonder why it is that way then. Does it really require that much power to move the door? I suppose it must do. Your cargo handling bus needs to be powered, and that's how you power it. Oh, okay, I see. Is that actually up here then, the cargo handling bus?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? A immortal phrase that occasionally gets uttered by controllers.
Okay. Final 8. 4, 6. I have that shot. Okay, I turn right now.
Negative Finnair 846, you can take Echo 6 as well, crossing...
I have a feeling Finnair 846 does not speak very good English.
Crossing direct Echo 6.
Cross runway 27, taxi, holding point 6, Finnair 846.
Alright, cool. Let's turn that back on and get rid of...
Request taxi, KLM 1313.
Yeah, that'll just get rid of it, won't it? Disconnecting.
KLM 131
Come on.
taxi to
We've been here for quite some time now.
Echo
I'd like this to
via
go away.
Bravo.
Oh, we're going to wait for it to be towed away.
Point 18 left,
Goodness
KLM
me.
1313.
Kakaduk 661 Romeo, request start of a pushback.
I wonder what GSX is going to do with me. I'm assuming it's going to push me back onto there.
QNH 1010
Where's that?
and
Taxiway
push start
Charlie,
of
yeah.
661 Romeo.
Yeah, we're definitely not where we're supposed to be. There's probably a cargo apron around this massive airport somewhere. But, whatever. Okay. It's gone, finally. Departing. Brill. Okay. We're ready to do our thing.
Finnair 846. The winds are 140 at 11 knots. Cleared for takeoff. Runway 18.
Look at that overhead, it's ginormous. Or at least it feels ginormous. I don't think it actually is that big in real life. You'd be surprised how small this actually is, but the sim makes it look massive, it has to be said. Right. Tower, cargo looks 711. We're ready to push back and start onto taxiway Charlie.
Cargo 711 push to the approved. The notes are put down. So push to approved. QNH 1010.
Push approved, QNH 1010. Cargo looks 711. Let's go!
Schiphol Tower, goedenavond. De KLM 034 request IVAO is filed naar Gothenburg information.
Straight pushback. I guess I'll have to do.
Echo.
Last time I did straight pushback manual stop, like I said, we ended up taxiing straight through the
Finnair 846.
straight through the pushback tug, which is a bit weird, but I'll try not to do that this time.
1831 dacht ik.
Please say again to our 846.
KLM 034 to clear to. Ja, we gaan toe naar
Gothenburg.
rechts in Zweden. Daar dus. You can go to the end. Opnieuw. You're clear to Gothenburg airport via
Really?
the
That
MDG
tiny tug
exit
for
doors
this?
out runway 18 left, squawk
Somehow I am not
014.
convinced. I don't know though.
Is the Andic 3 Echo runway 18 left. The squawk is 10.
How's the Queen been doing so far? Very nicely, actually. Very nicely.
KLM 034, negative squawk 0144.
Alternate glare shield textures.
0144, KLM 034.
Doesn't look much different to me, to be honest.
And release parking brakes, sir.
KLM 0034, we have
Commencing the push, Captain. Start engines at your discretion.
Zo is het, KLM 034.
Well, I don't think we actually have an auto start system on this, even though there are click spots up there for some reason. I'll ignore that, and we'll go ahead and start 3 and 4. And I've no idea when I need to put the fuel in. I'm going to go with about 17% maybe, and 17% in N3, N2, whatever it is. Doesn't seem to be doing anything, does it? Maybe I should just flip it.
Finnair 846, no further ATC available. Contact it for 1 to display line.
Well, it's doing something now. Hope they don't flame out or something. Burst into flames.
KLM 1313, line up awake, no one left.
Line up at 18 left, KLM 1313.
Parking brakes, please.
Schiphol Tower, the KLM 034 request push and start.
KM 034 push
Alright, so far so good.
Push and start approved. KLM
This one does have
034.
auto start, but it's just one button for all the engines. Below the start switches on the overhead. Oh! Yes! Yeah, you're right, there it is.
Takeoff runway 18 left, hartelijk bedankt.
Thank you for pointing that out.
KLM 1313.
Brilliant. Okay, cheers.
Unlocking gear.
Ja, ik ga je zo de Unicom call geven. Die nog niet, pas wanneer op 2000 staat.
Captain, the tow truck is disconnected and the bypass pin is removed.
Nou, geef niet. Dus ik weet niet of je op de hoogte bent van de IVAO-regels ook.
Got a bit of a tight turn to make, I'm afraid.
Van touwen automatisch.
We might manage it, we'll see. I know, I love it, the smoke out of the engines, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Dus ik moet je nu gaan switchen of pas op 2000 goed?
Good old RB211s. There it goes. I want to see if there's any smoke coming out the back of it once we're actually on the climb at full power, because they were supposed to be quite smoky engines, these, aren't they, I think. The reflections, I know! I know!
Cargolux 661 Romeo, taxi to Hollywood Sierra 8 and Holberg.
Taxi to Hollywood Sierra 8 and Holberg, Cargolux 61.
That's flap 10 set. Let's get a bit of light in here. There we go. Dome light is off, yeah. Okay, taxi light turn-offs. I like the nav wasn't on. Right, cool. What are you complaining about? Fuel. Oh, you want these on. Jolly good. And Tower Cargolux 711 is ready for taxi.
Cargolux 711 taxi to Hollywood November 2 via Charlie Alpha 13.
Holding point November 2 via Charlie Alpha and Alpha 13, Cargolux 711. Alright, let's see if we can turn this thing around. Alright, rudder.
Cargolux 661 Romeo, you confirm you're heading for Sierra 2 right now?
Ooh.
Yeah, almost Sierra 2.
No, we're on the grass. Never mind.
Yeah, okay.
I blame GSX. Fuel tank engine. Oh, okay.
789
Close those as well.
Martin Air 789er. Yeah, did you already see my ATIS? Runway 18 center is not open at the moment, so please go around and
differential thrust with reverses on one side.
No
we would shred our tyres to bits if we did that, I think.
Oh yeah, sorry, we didn't look it. Clear to land runway 18 center, Martinez 789, thank you.
Let's turn on the weather radar, I suppose. Put Wexer on that side and
Schiphol Tower,
terrain on this side.
34 request taxi.
Right, Charlie, Alpha.
Wil je November 5 of wil je
Alpha 13
November 6?
to November 2? Oh yeah, I know where we're
Echo
going.
5 is okay.
Oh, ik zei het verkeerd. Maar goed, Echo 5.
I know, Kurt, it took a while. I had to sort of negotiate the the strange rain dance involved in getting the cargo doors open and closed.
Echo 5 by Alpha 13, Alpha Bravo.
As it turns out, there's a special cargo bus. Actually, I can
Taxi 5
turn
via
the
the
APU
Alpha
off as well.
3 and
It's a
Alpha
special
Bravo
cargo bus,
to Echo 5,
which is only
KLM
powered by
034.
certain generators, so you have to have a sort of odd combination of the APU and GPU to actually get the doors to work. It's strange, but I assume it's accurate.
Cargo 661 Romeo is at holding point Sarah 2.
Okay, 661 Romeo.
I genuinely, we are going to spend more time on the ground with this flight than we are in the air. Like, no word of a lie. It's that short.
Crossing is approved and then via the Bravo to holding point November 2, Cargo 661 Romeo.
Hey, Squirrel. How are you doing, sir? Look at him go. Assume he's landing and not taxiing super fast. Yeah, there's a lot of 747s around today. Couldn't imagine why. After flying the A320, how is this step back in technology for me? Well, you know, it's not that big a step back. But I can almost guarantee you I'll probably forget a few things that are automatic in the A320, so...
Stand by, and taxi to Romeo 82 via Bravo, Quebec, and Romeo.
Jesus, can you imagine how strong a bridge has got to be
Bravo, Quebec, Romeo to Romeo 82
to support a fully laden 747?
Amsterdam Tower, good evening, KLM 367 radio information echo request clearance.
I'm not 100% convinced that wingtip clearance is assured here, but whatevs. I like how the CRTs are like a little bit mucky.
367, you are clear to like a golf.
The whole cockpit just looks gorgeous. It's like the high-res textures, the modelling, and the fact that it's also kind of weathered and looks like it's been around the block a few times, you know. Mitch Mitch ER, thanks for the follow.
Clear for departure via Berkey 18 left, and squawk is 0145, KLM 367.
Yeah, KLM 367 confirm, Berkey 3 echo departure.
Berkey 3 echo departure, KLM 3667.
KLM 367 pushback, clearance is reback is correct, call me when ready for clearance. Push start clearance.
Schiphol Tower, the KLM 034 at Echo 5, ready for departure.
Waar?
At Echo 5.
Daar sta jij niet. Je staat nog steeds bij de gate. Bij mij.
Nou, dan zit ik vast. Ik maak even een restart. KLM 034.
Roger that, KLM 034.
Power, goedenavond, Papa Tokyo, de Victor Delta, General Aviation, with information, Echo on board, request order.
This is a real flight, by the way. I know it's crazy short, but it's a real flight. Cargolux 711 literally did this exact flight 3 hours ago in the real world. So
information.
Squawk is 0062, dacht ik. 60 bedoel ik. En Romeo use is 22.
Okay, set up approve squawk 0060, runway 22, Papa Delta.
Calculate 61 Romeo, hold short. Calculate 61 Romeo, hold short now.
Whoa, look at that dude go.
Yes, KLM 034, the winds are 140 at 11 knots, cleared for takeoff from a 1 left.
Copy the wind, clear for takeoff, runway 18 left, KLM 034.
Calculate 61 Romeo, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, calculate 61 Romeo.
Calculate 711, calculate 711, crossing 09 is approved after crossing direct, taxi to November 6.
Crossing 09's approved. Was that Echo 6? Cargo Lux 711.
Papa Victor Delta, go ahead.
Papa Victor Delta, request taxi.
Papa Victor Delta, taxi to Golf, holding point Golf 1 via Golf.
Taxi Golf 1, Papa Victor Delta.
Sim gas is cheap, isn't it? Yeah. It's a rental. Christ. You only increase the throttles just a little bit and it just shoots ahead for the neck. Crazy stuff.
Victor Delta, approaching Golf 1, the output ready.
Papa Victor Delta, line up away, visit.
Line for way to Papa Victor Delta.
I'm on idle thrust, by the way, right now. Still ploughing on ahead.
Calculate 61 Romeo.
Calculate 61 Romeo.
Yeah, I didn't gave you the clearance to cross 09 yet, but anyway,
that texture load. Blah.
Copy that.
So many 747s.
Sorry, I mean, then I think it was for the company.
I love it.
Calculate 711, line up away.
Line up and wait 18 left. Calculate 711.
KLM 034, no ATC further available. Company Unicom, what is it? Bye bye.
Switching to Unicom, bedankt voor de service, prettige avond, KLM 034.
Tower Legacy 010 with you on final runway 18 right.
Legacy 010, the winds are 140 at 1 knots.
This thing is going to sound epic on takeoff. I can't wait.
Copy the wind and clear to land runway 18 right, Legacy 010, thank you.
Papa Victor Delta, the winds are 140, 1 knots, clear for takeoff runway 22.
Might as well run the clock as well.
Tower KLM 367, request taxi.
Papa Victor Delta, the clear for takeoff runway 22.
Clear for takeoff runway 22 and confirm left hand circus and 500 feet.
Ja, dat heb ik al gezien.
Misschien ook even meegeven, is wel handig.
Tower KLM 367.
I've noticed the CRTs, or the screens in general, they don't have that weird glowy effect that they do in the other PMDG planes when you've got HDR turned on, which is nice. So I can actually read them properly.
Taxi.
Yeah, KLM 367 again. taxi to Horner Point Echo 5 via Alpha 8 and Bravo.
Yeah, I'll turn the sim volume up on takeoff, just so you wait.
Echo 5 via Alpha 8 Bravo KLM 367.
On runway 18 left. On runway 18 left.
Thank you for that, Ras. Yeah, I don't think McFat are around. In fact, their website went down a little while ago, and I don't know if it's come back up again. Packs are still off.
Calculate 711, the winds are 140 at 11 knots, takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 18 left, calculate 711. Here we go, boys. Here we go.
And Legacy 010 is just vacated via Victor 1.
Legacy 010, do you need to stand
Stable.
Jennifer aviation parking or
Toga.
just a normal stand?
Airspeed's alive.
Normal stand will be good 010, thank you.
80 knots.
Papa Victor Delta down to request low pass.
Papa Victor Delta, say again.
Rotate.
Victor Delta is down to request low pass.
Papa Victor Delta. Kun je nog heel even wachten? Kan ik
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up.
Ja, is goed. Extend down with Papa Delta.
Taxi 010, taxi to...
Hope does get a bit in the way.
Victor.
Can you please repeat 001, sorry?
Legacy 010, taxi to Horner Point Whiskey 5 via Victor.
Whiskey 5
Whee!
via Victor 01.
Calculate 6 more Romeo, line up away. Left.
Line up away
Look at it
from
freaking
it,
go.
left, calculate 661 Romeo.
Opbouw Victor Delta, als je een loopers wil doen, ik denk dat het nu niet meer nodig is. Mogelijk is dan...
Take even.
That's horrifying.
Ja, je wilt toch een loopers doen of niet meer?
Ja, nog steeds low pass.
Ja, ik pak Victor Delta.
Please finish loading. There we go. My god.
Take steeds low pass when we do.
Good old 32-bit in action. Christ.
Winds 140 at 11.
Okay, thank you. Take low pass to Victor Delta.
Yeah, Papa Victor Delta, the winds are, wind direction is variable 110, variables 170.
Okay.
Amsterdam Tower, Scandinavian 554, at flight at 3000 feet, expect ILS for runway 18 right.
Scandinavian 554, call me when ready, established in the localizer.
Ooh, what are you doing, plane?
En 367, wat doe je?
Ja, ik zag het was een beetje te ver gegaan.
Ja, oké, je mag ook voor mij de Echo 6 nemen. 367,
Rest in peace, LNAV. Apparently.
After crossing direct Echo 9. Echo 6.
Okay, Roger, Echo 6 and improve crossing runway.
Additional aircraft power ship is closing. Ik moet helaas even. Dus ik zie je misschien zo terug. En ja.
Ja, is goed. Eet smakelijk. Papa Victor Delta.
Dank je.
And that's tower offline. Right.
Information check is departing runway 18 left, stay clear.
Again?
Forgetting how to Boeing there for a second.
Runway 18 left is currently used for departure, stay clear.
Stay clear, 1 left, Bob. Jij bent helemaal geen touw weer, klootzak.
Right. Oh my days, it really struggles with the textures on this thing. My god. That lighting bug as well, when you pan around a certain amount, it just stops lighting up the fuselage. It's just, P3D. Lockheed Martin, get your shit together. Yeah, we're not going to be cruising for very long. Let's see. Weather radar definitely works. That's good to see. No, we don't want any EHAM arrivals. What are we doing? Stansted arrivals. ILS-22. Abbott 1 Charlie. Fire Abbott. Execute. Yeah, that'll work. Perfect. Right. Minute ref. Approach. Flaps 30. Back it over to progress. And, well. That's it, really. Oh, except for this. Set that to standard, and it's QNH 1004 down there apparently. So we'll pre-select that. I like that on these Boeings. You can't do that in the bus. pre-selected altimeter setting. And minimums, I think it's 500 feet or so. Barrow, that is. Yeah, 550. There you go. Beautiful. They're all set. I've got the black version of that case, since you asked, Tannoy. Once you're used to the GE90, everything else is just a hairdryer. I see your GE90 and I raise you... What is it the Concorde has? Olympus 593s or something? Yeah, I raise you 4 of those. With the reheats on for takeoff. Then the GE90s sound like hairdryers, by comparison, it has to be said. I'm not going to lie, this is fast becoming my second favourite plane in P3D after the Concorde, actually. I really like this thing. Not much visibility down there, is there? What do I have to do to get the nose door open? Give APU and ground power on hydraulics to auto. You need Gen. You need. Damn it! I mean, what I did was I had the APU on, for APU Gen 1 and 2, and I had to put external power 2 on as well to get it to work the last time. It's still a bit of a rain dance in my head because I don't quite understand it. I need to read the manual. You know what, there actually isn't a BA Landor one. There's 3 British Airways ones, and none of them are a Landor livery, so... I am disappointed. You need either APU 2 or Gen 2 available. Not available, not on to make it work, okay. It's kind of funny, really, Christian, because they've done virtually every other livery under the sun except for that. Look at those contrails. They do have the Rainbow United livery, actually, which looks pretty sweet. It has to be said. I'm screenshotting that. That's so awesome. Hi. There we go. It is quite dark in this cockpit, it has to be said. I do love that they put a curtain in on the cargo version. It's just such a little thing, but I don't know, for some reason it makes me happier that it's there. You can turn this thing off and on, by the way, as well. This little reminder thing. Can you exit the plane through a hatch in the roof of the cockpit? Yeah, there's a hatch here. Probably open it in the CDU somewhere. Although, probably not in flight, it has to be said. See, where PMDG and IXCG succeeded, I'm afraid Flight Factor failed a bit, because what these guys have done is they've got the curved CRT monitors, right? But what Flight Factor left out is the protective covering, which on this one you can see it's actually like got little bits of dirt and smudges on it and fingerprints. Although 0 out of 10 PMDG, I don't have a pair of ghostly eyes looking at me through the other side of the screen when I move my camera right up to it, so unacceptable! I require ghostly eyes in my simulation. Life Factor runs better than 30 FPS. That is true, but again, that's because of the platform, really. I think more than anything else, to be fair. I can virtually guarantee you that if PMDG eventually port this across to X-Plane, it will run much better, just because X-Plane. Let's be honest. Already tuned to wireless. Yeah, the box does it for you. So. Nice one, Crisp. Do I have a pedestal in real life, or am I just using F1, F2, F3, F4? What do you mean? What do you mean? I have a throttle. I have a Warthog throttle right here, if that's what you mean. To control the throttles with. Well, Skipjack, to be... Well, if PMDG go by what they've said already, if they stick to their word, an X-Plane version of this would in theory cost the same as the FSX version. Because they're not doing licensing stuff with Lockheed Martin. Because that's what they say is the reason why it's more expensive in P3D. So, if they're telling the truth about that, then in theory, it should be cheaper. in X-Plane. Hey, look! I just noticed the manuals change with the livery. Look at that. That's kind of cool. I mean, their DC6 isn't... It's like $70, right? For X-Plane, so... What's a TPS report? I have no idea, I'm afraid. I'm not an engineer. We have an animating desk though, and yeah, it has a cup holder, so at least I think that's a cup holder. Looks like one. Yeah, I know, Christian. I am skeptical about where that money goes, to be completely honest with you, for the reasons you've already said. But, whatever. I think I'd be more bothered if they actually made a bad product, and they have not. So, they've made an incredible one, so... Money goes to Randazzo's DC3, yeah. it's DC3 tax, that's what it is. It's got nothing to do with licensing. It's DC3 tax. But yeah, as Yorklin points out, they've definitely earned it with this plane for sure. I kicked up a bit of a fuss when it came to the price for the FS Labs A320 because ultimately all you got was 2 variants with the different engine types, and that's it, and they want to charge you an expansion for even just sharklets, which, I don't know. And remember, the FS Labs is $5 more than this thing is, technically. And this thing comes with half a bazillion variants. They're going to do an expansion for the 747-8. But to be fair, the 747-8 is legitimately quite a different aeroplane. It has a lot of different systems to this version. So that's almost in my mind, that is worth an expansion. So I think they've been actually... It ain't cheap, for sure. I mean, I'm not going to lie, but I think they've been pretty reasonable, actually, in terms of the stuff they've included with this. What's a cheap A320 for FSX? The Aerosoft one's good. I'd get the Aerosoft one if I were you. That's the best bang for your buck. I flew that thing for years. It's pretty good, to be fair. I wish the panel lights and stuff were a bit brighter during the day. They just, you can turn them, you can turn them up, and they do make a little bit of a difference, as you can see, but it's barely noticeable. And I don't know, maybe it's like that in the real plane, but I kind of wish I could turn them right up during the day. But whatever. Oh, it's got the transition altitude all wrong. It thinks we're in America, God bless it. There we go. When was the last time I stepped on an actual flight? Years ago. Years ago. I mean, the last holiday I had was 6 years ago, and that was by car. Well, actually a ferry as well, but... long ass time ago. Speed brake so I can slow down. Good old Boeing VNAV, not quite nailing the speed. Now, is it going to go around that hold once? I can't remember which of the approaches into Stansted has a mandatory hold. It might be this one, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's got a hold there. Probably for the best, otherwise we won't get down in time. I didn't do the hold in the Airbus yesterday, which is why we ended up way above profile in the end. A bit silly of me. Be my cue to put the speed brake away. Yeah, I mean, I'm serious. It's, I mean, my first favourite's always going to be Concorde, for all its little idiosyncrasies. Other than that, what would be my other favourites? Not when it comes to airliners anyway, not including GA stuff or Warbirds. It'd be either this or the Connie, I think, really, actually. When am I going to stream the Connie? Soon. Don't you worry. So yeah, it'd be either this or the Connie, and then third place would be the FS Labs. And it's probably only because I have a little bit more affection for the 747 as an aircraft than I do for the A320. So even though the FS Labs is technically outstanding. 40 below. That's 2,500 there, so yeah, we are going to have to go around this hold, I think. Considering we're in pretty close proximity to London right now, and we've got some pretty gnarly weather, the frame rate is honestly not that bad. The FS Labs sounds even better if you get the Blue Sky Star sound pack for the IAE version. That is some ear sex. That thing is really, really incredible. The last couple of days I've only flown the CFM version, unfortunately, but at some point I'll get out the IAE version. I'll do a BA flight. That's been a bit long overdue, but I'll do a BA virtual flight in it. Oh, you'll love it, Pathfinder. It's awesome. Embrace the way of the scare buffs. Come to the dark side. We have cookies. And fighter pilot joysticks. It's too cool, dude. Why are we not, like, you know, descending in this hold? Is there a good 787 add-on? Nope. At least not yet. Oh, look at that! You see that? The light catches on the protector on the screen and you can see all the dirt. Texturing in this plane is awesome! Yeah, Active Sky 16 with Rex Soft Clouds. That's what I'm using. Need the FSFX guys to make an immersion package for this thing now. I do kind of agree with you, Chuckson, actually. That would be good of them if they just gave you a discount for buying the previous version. I mean, the flip side of FS Labs' pricing is that, I mean, to be fair to them, what they do is they give you the... or if you want to upgrade to the P3D version and you already have the FSX one, you just pay the difference. But, you know, whatever. Well, I mean, yeah, like if you're flying something like this, you still have to use your left hand on the yoke on landing anyway, because you've got your right hand on the throttles. So it's really no different in an Airbus. Outside view for a bit. I just sort of want to monitor this because the LNAV's been a bit funny once or twice on this flight so far, so I kind of just want to make sure it's doing what it's told. You know? Need to tell it to descend in a minute as well. Mind you, there's clearly not much to see on the external view anyway. The next thing PMDG are working on is the 737 version 2 or version 3, or I don't even know. That's what they said they're doing next, I think. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Arg. Exit hold. Forgot to exit the hold. It's going round again. No! Whatever. Vectoring time. Oh my god. Getting a bit bumpy. Oh, Miss Copilot and their DC-9. One of these days I'm going to sit down and we'll do like an all-day stream, and I'll just fly a whole shitload of airplanes I've been meaning to fly for a while, and it will include the DC-9 and the 727 and the 717 as well. I was going to fly the 717 today, and then I bought this, so and I would keep meaning to do some DCS at some point as well. It's too much bloody stuff to do. You heard it's full PMDG flight model again, i.e. paper plane. I don't know. Seems alright to me, actually. To be honest. Doesn't really seem any different from the iFly. It's a little bit more responsive than the iFly, but that's it, really. Oh, Mermoz is going to say, well, he's off flying his flipping PSX because he's PSX Master Race now. Because he's too good for a 3D cockpit. Christ, that's pretty. Only peasants like me require 3D cockpits, apparently. So. I'm going to continue after this, maybe. I need to have a think. I'm thinking of actually stretching the legs on this thing a bit and flying it off somewhere long distance. Because I need to go get some dinner in between, you know what I mean? So. Hello, Ben Loftus. That texture load though.
1,000.
IVAO for all. Thank you for the follow. Oh my god, shut up.
Approaching minimums.
Spaghetti Knight, thanks for the follow as well. Oh, you already were following, to be honest, actually. Whatever.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
I have no idea how to land this properly. We're not actually slowing down right now. What the hell? We were just coasting along at about 95 knots. What the fuck? Good grief.
600 meters remaining.
Mind you, we are a pretty heavy jet, I suppose. I did kind of forget just how much cargo we put on this thing when we left. Does GSX work with it? Well, it has its own built-in ground vehicles and stuff, but it does pushback. That's all I've tried. I've not bothered trying to do all the stairs and boarding and loading and stuff with it yet, because I've just used the built-in stairs and things. And the toilet truck. Let's not forget the toilet truck. found the auto brakes being on the pedal still throws you right off. Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it? But on the bright side, you can just customize it in the CDU so that you get the option where it appears up here instead. So you're all good. Like I said, the customization options on this thing are a bit mental. Just the amount of things you can change and add to it, so... in addition to all the base variants you actually get. Even just tiny things like the taxi light switch being missing. Because like I said, the BA 747s for some reason don't have a taxi light switch, and you can remove that in the options down here. Alright, let's see. Cargo's over there somewhere. .747 the river was for home simming. Well, I would say yeah, but PSX does technically exist, so... But in my honest opinion, PSX isn't designed for home simming, it's designed for people with lots of money who want to build home cockpits. Or just people, you know, airlines to use as a training tool, to be honest with you. This product, on the other hand, is definitely more aimed at a home simmer. Alright, cheers Spaghetti Note. For some reason I feel the need to taxi way slower than normal in this thing. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm really high up. It feels like I'm going faster than I actually am. Yeah, making right turns in this thing from the left-hand seat is tricky. I mean, left turns, sorry, right turns. Don't you need like 2 computers almost to run PSX? Realistically speaking. With one running PSX and the other one running the scenery generator. Or is that just something some people do? I always got the impression that was the way you were meant to do it. I mean, the Simfest guys, they have like fucking 4 computers or something like that, I think, to run their PSX. Only in this plane would that ramp look small. Come on, straighten it out. Oh my days. Spoilers. Spoiler alert. Alright, parking brake. APU on the buses. Goodbye engines. Sweet. Alright, we need stuff. Shocks for one thing. So I can get rid of those brakes. Where's the ground power? Do I need the hydraulics on still to do the to open the doors? Possibly. Let's leave the auxiliary one on for now and see if we can do it that way. Okay, you can slowly hear the packs winding down. I hear the sound of AI airplanes. Or at least if not AI, then... Yep, it's a Ryanair. Multiple Ryanairs, is this not Stansted? This is like the hive in the UK. Where all the little Ryanair worms call home. Blech. Look at them, scurrying around like the vermin they are. Bleh. Alright, let's see. That looks like it's going to work. Good. There we go, yeah. Get ready for derp face. Here it comes! Right, you can piss off, green bar. I want a screenshot of this. Print screen. Save as 4, 5, there we go. Mental, this thing. It's just a warehouse with wings. What do you reckon they have in this bit? Is it really like seats, or is it? Do you reckon they have like bunks and stuff back here? What cargo they carry inside those boxes? Well, according to Angry Beaver, just sort of his entire collection of glass dildos. That seems to be what I've gathered from everything he said, anyway. What is he doing? Mate, you've pushed back the wrong way. I regret to inform you. He's sat there and he's now trying to figure out how the hell he's going to get out of this situation. Typical fucking Ryanair. Look at him. Hoping nobody will notice. Well, VR's only going to fucking work if they can sort out the frame rate. Because I've tried it. I do own an Oculus. I mean, I don't own an Oculus, I own a Vive. And the problem is, if you get anything less than like, probably like 50 or 60 FPS, you get motion sick. So, you not only get motion sick, but also you get stutters every time you try and sort of move your head around as well, like visual stutters, and it's really, really, really unpleasant. We'll get there eventually, I'm sure, but we just don't have the fucking computing power at the minute to run a complex flight sim like this in VR with a good resolution and the frame rate that you need for it. You can just about do it in DCS, but DCS is optimized as fuck compared to P3D, so you can't even do it in X-Plane. I tried it in X-Plane and it was it just at virtually any airport in anything that wasn't like the stock Cessna, you you wouldn't get high enough frame rate. Hang on, I want to get the toilet truck out again just because I want to see the fucking PMDG toilet services or whatever it is logo. I just can't even. Where is it? It's on its way. It fucking is. PMDG lavatory services. Can you imagine? Randazzo himself, I'm sure, is driving that. I'm sure this right here is just a metaphor for something. I just can't quite place my finger on what it is. Alright, well, shit. That was fun. So... what else is going on? Can I make a quick exit here, or am I going to be kept around by you lot held hostage?